Okay, I'm going to start this video by reading the build background in your packet. And that way we can just have some context of what the story's about and some key information that we need to know before we begin the play. So, basis and legend. Sophocles was one of the great dramatists of ancient Greece, and his play Antigone is regarded as one of the finest examples of classical Greek tragedy. The main characters in this play come into conflict because they stand firmly behind their principles that are contradictory. So we're going to have two main characters who have very strong beliefs and very strong opinions, and they're going to butt heads or have a lot of conflict because they disagree with each other. Even minor characters are going to have pretty strongly held beliefs and opinions. Most Greek tragedies are based on legends or myths that the audience of ancient Greece was very familiar with. Antigone is based on the legend of the family of Oedipus, the doomed king of Thebes. As the play begins, Antigone and her sister Ismene recall their dead father Oedipus, who unknowingly killed his father and married his own mother. Upon discovering the truth, Oedipus blinded himself and went into exile, where he was cared for by his two daughters until his death. After his death, his sons Eteocles and Polynices agreed to share the kingship of Thebes, ruling in alternate years. However, when Eteocles had served his first term as king, he banished Polynices from Thebes and refused to relinquish the throne to him, claiming that Polynices was unfit to rule. Polynices then enlisted an army from Argos, a powerful city-state and a long-standing enemy of Thebes, to fight his brother. In the course of the battle, the brothers killed each other. Their uncle, Creon, has become king and faces the task of restoring order in Thebes. As the new king, he plans to honor one corpse and insult the other. So we just learned a lot of key information about Antigone, her sister, and key family members that will all have an impact on this play. So it's a good idea to take some notes or to think about these characters that we just heard about and some of the major conflicts they're involved in, because again, this is going to impact the entire story as the play unfolds. These two brothers, Eteocles and Polynices, have killed each other in battle, really trying to take over the power of Thebes. And Creon, their uncle, takes over the throne because, as we know, in ancient Greece, a woman couldn't rule, so Creon would have been the next member of the bloodline to take over the throne. And Creon has devised this rule about the dead bodies of these two brothers. He's going to honor one and he's going to kind of disrespect the other. And the prologue of the play, which is the opening, is going to feature Antigone and her sister Ismene having a very serious discussion about Creon's new law. So where I'll pick up reading is on page 1022. Okay, the top is going to be stage directions and details about the setting of this scene. And those will always be in italics, and stage directions are just meant to help a director or an actor kind of understand what steps they're supposed to take or how they're supposed to portray a character's voice. So we'll get started on the top of 1022, and I'll just read through the prologue. Alright, scene. Before the palace of Creon, king of Thebes. A central double door and two doors at the side. A platform extends the length of the stage, and from this platform 3 steps lead down to the orchestra or chorus ground. Time, dawn of day after the repulse of the Argive army from the assault on Thebes. Prologue. Antigone and Ismene enter from the central door of the palace. Ismene, dear sister, you would think that we have suffered enough for the curse on Oedipus. I cannot imagine any grief that you and I have not gone through. And now, have they told you the new decree of our king Creon? I have heard nothing. I know that 2 sisters have lost 2 brothers, a double death in a single hour. And I know that the Argive army fled in the night, but beyond this, nothing. I thought so, and that is why I wanted you to come here with me. There is something we must do. Why do you speak so strangely? Listen, Ismene. Creon buried our brother Eteocles with military honors, gave him a soldier's funeral, and it was right that he should. But Polynices, who fought as bravely and died as miserably, they say that Creon has sworn no one shall bury him, no one mourn for him, but his body must lie in the fields, a sweet treasure for carrion birds to find as they search for food. That is what they say, and our good Creon is coming here to announce it publicly. And the penalty, stoning to death in the public square. There it is, and now you can prove what you are, a true sister or a traitor to your family. Antigone, are you mad? What could I possibly do? You must decide whether you will help me or not. I do not understand you. Help you in what? Ismene, I'm going to bury him. Will you come? Bury him? You've just said the new law forbids it. He is my brother, and he is your brother too. But think of the danger. Think of what Creon will do. Creon is not strong enough to stand in my way. Ah, sister, Oedipus died, everyone hating him for what his own search brought to light, his eyes ripped out by his own hands. And Jocasta died, his mother and wife at once. She twisted the cords that strangled her life. And our 2 brothers died, each killed by the other's sword, and we are left. But oh, Antigone, think how much more terrible than these our own deaths would be if we should go against Creon and do what he is forbidden. We are only women. We cannot fight with men, Antigone. The law is strong. We must give in to the law, in this thing and in worse. I beg the dead to forgive me, but I am helpless. I must yield to those in authority. And I think it is dangerous business to always be meddling. If that is what you think, I should not want you, even if you asked to come. You have made your choice. You can be what you want to be, but I will bury him. And if I must die, I say this crime is holy. I shall lie down with him in death, and I shall be as dear to him as he to me. It is the dead, not the living, who make the longest demands. We die forever. You may do as you like, since apparently the laws of the gods mean nothing to you. They mean a great deal to me, but I have no strength to break laws that were made for public good. That must be your excuse, I suppose. But as for me, I will bury the brother I love. Antigone, I am so afraid for you. You need not be. You have yourself to consider, after all. But no one must hear of this. You must tell no one. I will keep it a secret, I promise. Oh, tell it. Tell everyone. Think how they'll hate you when it comes out if they learned that you knew about it all the time. So fiery, you should be cold with fear. Perhaps. But I am only doing what I must. But can you do it? I say that you cannot. Very well. When my strength gives out, I shall do no more. Impossible things should not be tried at all. Go away, Ismene. I shall be hating you soon, and the dead will too. For your words are hateful. Leave me my foolish plan. I am not afraid of the danger if it means death. It will not be the worst of deaths, death without honor. Go then if you feel that you must. You are unwise, but a loyal friend indeed to those who love you. Exit into the palace. Antigone goes off left, enters the chorus with the choragus. So before we get into the chorus and choragus, it is very important that you take some time to look at Antigone and her personality, some of the principles and values she holds. And then, in between every scene, we're going to be hearing from the chorus and the choragus, and there's definitions of what those two roles are on page 1019 of your packet. I'll just quickly review what they are. So the chorus is a group of about 15 actors, and they comment on the action of the play. And they often give some insights or symbolism, some hints as to what the bigger, deeper message of the play is. And there's a leader of the chorus, and that's known as the choragus, who participates in the dialogue of the play. They may actually be a character or interact with some of the main characters. So between scenes, the chorus sang and danced to music in the orchestra, and they would give insights into the message of the play. The chorus is representing kind of the ideal audience member or spectator watching the events unfold in the play. So the first time that we hear from the chorus and choragus, it's on page 1024. And they're going to be talking about the battle between Polyneices and Eteocles, these two brothers who were supposed to alternate years as king, but Eteocles refused to give up the throne, so his brother invades with an army, and as we know, they both end up dead. So basically this is describing the battle and kind of the aftermath of this battle and the state of Thebes. So it begins with the chorus. Now the long blade of the sun, lying level east to west, touches with glory Thebes of 7 gates. Open, unlidded eye of golden day, O marching light across the eddy and rush of Dirce's stream, striking the white shields of the enemy, thrown headlong backwards from the blaze of morning. Polyneices, their commander, roused them with windy phrases. He held the wild eagle screaming insults above our land. His wings their shields of snow, his crest their marshalled helms. Against our 7 gates in a yawning ring the famished spears came onward in the night. But before his jaws were sated with our blood, or pine fire took the garland of our towers, he was thrown back, and as he turned, great Thebes, no tender victim for his noisy power, rose like a dragon behind him, shouting war. For God hates utterly the bray of bragging tongues, and when he beheld their smiling, their swagger of golden helms, the frown of his thunder blasted their first man from our walls. We heard his shout of triumph high in the air turn to a scream. Far out in a flaming arc he fell with his windy torch, and the earth struck him. And others storming in fury no less than his found the shock of death in the dusty joy of battle. 7 captains at 7 gates yielded their clanging arms to the god that bends the battle line and breaks it. These 2 only, brothers in blood, face to face in matchless rage, mirroring each other's death, clashed in long combat. But now in the beautiful morning of victory, let Thebes of the many chariots sing for joy. With hearts for dancing, we'll take leave of war. Our temples shall be sweet with hymns of praise, and the long night shall echo with our chorus.